All right, moving on. The NFL will be doing a virtual draft this year. Ryan, do you like this idea?
I mean, it's better than the alternative of just no draft at all, but I don't know. Like, I feel that it could go one of many ways. It could be a massive success and people end up doing it every year. It could completely flop and like no one's going to even watch it. Okay, that part's not true because we're so desperate for sports right now. Everyone's going to be watching the draft, whether you like football or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I just see some potential problems that could come up out of it, like something as simple as the Wi-Fi connection. I don't know. But so just out of curiosity, if there was a team in the NFL that would want to pick one player but accidentally click on the other one and send that into the league, which team would that be?
The Browns.
The Browns.
The end.
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you think? I mean, which team? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, yeah, definitely the Browns. Partially due to like, I don't know, there might be the lingering Freddie Kitchens effect. I don't know, but I would say the Browns and possibly the Redskins. That could depend.
Yep. I can see that.
But yeah. So do you think that moving forward, if this format turns out to be a success, will the NBA, who currently has not postponed their draft, do you think that they will use this format for their draft slated to take place in June?
I think that if coronavirus, if the CDC and World Health Organization still, coronavirus is still a threat, then I'd say yes, they do. But the amount of money that the host city gets from all the visitors and all the broadcast money, I think that'd be just way too hard to pass up.
That's a good point. I mean, I doubt that the NFL really wants to do this, but they do have the market cornered right now. There are no other sports on, so people are going to watch this draft, whether it's like, it could just be, the owners sending up smoke signals for what people they want to pick. People would still watch it.
I would watch that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So do you see any scenario from this where the draft gets postponed? Like, I was thinking possibly if Bill Belichick can't figure out how Zoom works, I'd say that could be cause to postpone the draft. What do you think?
For sure. I mean, yeah, Green Bay's Wi-Fi goes out. Certainly possible. Does their stadium even have Wi-Fi, actually?
I don't think they even have seats. So
Lambeau Field. Love the place, but man. Yeah, I mean, certainly like you mentioned earlier, Wi-Fi. I'm sure all the Wi-Fi signals everywhere are booked pretty well for kids doing schoolwork and stuff. So.
Yeah. I will say, I think this is the perfect setup for Texans general manager / coach / idiot-in-chief Bill O'Brien. Because, so if he makes a bad pick, like if he screws up something like he did with DeAndre Hopkins, he can just blame that on like either a typo or clicking the wrong button or something like that. This is perfect for him, I think.
So can you see the NFL starting training camp in July, when they traditionally do?
I mean, I really hope that they do.
Yeah.
And I mean, July is really far away, and goodness knows I am not a health major. I am a business major, so I really know very little about the whole health implications of the coronavirus pandemic. But I'm sure that we'll talk about this a bit more as it approaches. But in my non-professional opinion, I think that it could get started on time. What about you? Mm-hmm.
I agree. I'm no health expert either, but sure hope so.
Absolutely. All right, so let's jump out of football and into one of my favorite sports, college basketball. One of my constant complaints about the championship game is that it starts at 9:30, which I don't really understand. Thankfully, that is not the case this year. Unfortunately, that's because it isn't starting at all. The tournament, like every other major sporting event, was canceled due to coronavirus. So today, April 6th, would have been the championship game. What do you think the matchup would have been?
I think it would have been Wisconsin, Kansas.
Okay.
What do you think the matchup would have been?
For some reason, I feel like Michigan State would be in it, but also I will say Gonzaga. This might be their year.
Yep.
They've sort of been good, but flown under the radar just because this whole season's chaos. But they might have came through to them. So, yeah.
What would have been the big storyline of the tournament, in your opinion?
Like I said, this season has just been such a mess, so unpredictable. I've loved every second of it, and unfortunately it's over. But I'd say that this could be the year that there are two 15 seeds two 15 seeds that beat a 2 seed and advance out of the first round. That'd just be really interesting. Do you think there would have been anything along those lines or bigger, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think that Yale would have made a pretty good run. I know a couple years ago they beat Baylor in the first round. That was a pretty big upset.
Yes, it gifted us with one of the greatest post-game interviews of all time from Baylor. So this year there were two mid-major schools that had phenomenal seasons. They were the Flyers of Dayton and the Fighting Kawhi Leonards of San Diego State University. So out of those two teams, which one do you think would have gone on to a deeper run?
I think it would have been Dayton. One word. Obi Toppin.
Yeah.
2 words. But it sounds like one word if you say it fast. Yeah, Obi Toppin, he has been balling all year at a very high level. I think it would have carried them. And they're more than just Obi Toppin, too, honestly. They were just a good team.
Right, yeah. I mean, he's all you ever hear about, which is fine because he's a baller. Deserves all the credit in the world for that and will likely be the number 1 pick in the draft, in my opinion. But also they have the Coach of the Year, Anthony Grant, who thought his coaching career was done when he left Alabama, but he reimagined himself at Dayton. I think they could have made a really deep run. As for San Diego State, they had a really great start of the year, but they ended up falling off near the end with 2 conference losses. They weren't really expected, so I think that they might have fallen out relatively early, perhaps a second or Sweet 16 exit.
Sure. So, what do you think is the best bracket pool prize or punishment?
So, one of the best pool prizes that I've done is I play in a group of people from all around the country. So, for someone who wins, we have to send that individual something from from where we are. As I live in the Carolinas, I would send someone some barbecue and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I played with someone from San Francisco, and they had to send Ghirardelli chocolates after I won. It was a good year.
There you go. Congrats on that victory, Ryan.
Thank you. So how about with you? Do you have any really bad punishments that the loser has to suffer if they lose the bracket pool?
I guess a pretty harsh punishment, at least in my opinion, would be if I lost and they said, Evan, you gotta dress in this bunny outfit, kind of like a mascot uniform, and run a 5K. I think that'd be rough. Granted, there would be, something covering my head so no one would know who I am. Mm-hmm. But I imagine those things will get very hot, especially running a 5K.
Oh, that's for sure. I can barely even imagine running a 5K normally. So there is no champion this year because we had no tournament. So in your opinion, which team should declare itself the national champion of college basketball?
I think it should be UCF because declaring themselves national champs is what they do best. Shout out to 2017 college football season.
It's a fair point.
Yeah. Who do you think should declare themselves champs?
I would go with the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. So this year they were suspended from postseason play due to some NCAA violation, so they couldn't win anyway. But somehow everyone else got suspended for a year from the tournament too, and this year counts as their suspension from postseason play. So really, they missed nothing. They should be considered national champions, in my opinion.